Okay. Let's see. In the last unit, we saw um, high scores, which had uh, this function, this find function. We saw that we had to include the algorithm header file to be able to do that function. And we've also seen functions like we saw srand before to seed the random number variable. And for that one we needed, well, let's see, well, we needed the standard lib and the time, didn't we, to be able to call the time function. So there's a time function that's being used inside here. We have this random shuffle function. We have, oh, and another function that we've seen before is system pause. So the general form of a function is there's a function, when you're using a function, is a function name and parentheses, and then if there's any information that you need to give the function, it'll go inside the parentheses, and then we close the parentheses and we have a semicolon at the end of our instruction. But this is the general format of a function call. So in this video, I want to start talking about how you can write your own functions. So let's take a look at this one, instructions. And this is from the book, the Beginning C++ book by Dawson. And what do we have here? Well, we have let's see how I'll talk about this. We have this this function called instructions, and this is actually a function. As I said, you can write your own functions. This is a function that's written inside this file. So the way that we create our own functions is we write a function prototype. So in this case, the function prototype, this void means that no information is returned by this function. Okay, so in high scores, in the high scores program, we saw that we had, what was that find? So this function, the find function, does actually return a value. It returns an iterator, so we can set iter equal to that. But when you're just seeding a random number, or seeding the random number generator, you don't return anything. Okay, so we don't say, we don't have a variable equals srand or whatever, because it doesn't return any information. In fact, see right here, it says that it has that void keyword. Let's go back to instructions. So our function, the function that we're going to write, instructions, doesn't return any value. So we declare it void. And then we put the name of the function. And then we have these parentheses here and the semicolon. Okay, so this is a function prototype. And then when we define the function, down here is our function definition. We start with something that looks very much like the function prototype. This is called the function header. It's almost the same as the function prototype, it just doesn't have a semicolon after it. Okay, so that's important actually. There's no semicolon because what appears after this parentheses is the definition of the function. Okay, it's what it's basically the recipe for the function, what the function does. All right. So um, so there's actually one more piece to make use of the function. We have a function call. So in creating and using a function, there's three pieces to remember. There's the function prototype, which basically says, this is what the function looks like and this is how it works. I'm sorry, this, basically like the function prototype says this function is not going to return any value, and when you call it, you want to call it like this, instructions, okay, with the parentheses basically. And then we have the function definition, which gives you the recipe for what the function does. And then there's the function call. And the way the function call works is when we write instructions with no parentheses, notice there's no void anymore. We just use the name of the function, the parentheses, and a semicolon. What that says is, jump jump to the function definition and execute the instructions in the body of the function. So the body of the function is the set of instructions inside these two curly braces. Okay. So what this does is it says, okay, when we see this function call right here, instructions, we jump down here and we do this. We say, welcome to the most fun you've ever had with text. And then we say, here's how we play the game. And then at the end of this function, we jump back to the where the function was called. It's right after where the function was called. So what's going to happen is when this program is run, the first thing that happens is it calls this. So it's going to jump down and print out this line. Then it's going to execute this line. And then it's going to jump back here. And the next line after that is system pause. So we'll do the system pause and then we're going to return. Okay, so let's just run that and see what it looks like. Welcome to the most fun you ever had with text. Here's how to play the game. Press any key to continue. That's our system pause, right? So we press it and there we go. And that is the gist of how function definitions work. So, and the basic idea behind these. Oh yeah. Also, notice in main we have return 0. In this function, we don't have any return. When a function is void, you don't need a return statement. And basically, the reason that we define functions is to ultimately to make programs easier for people to read. It's easier to say, oh, instructions. Oh, okay, I know what instructions is. That's going to be the instructions for the game, and then whatever the rest of your code is going to be is going to go down here. So the idea is it's basically abstraction. Okay, but it's a use of the abstraction principle where you want to kind of hide details so that inside your main function you're doing more thinking more at a higher level rather than trying to do all the details. And also, you can reuse this code and stuff like that we'll talk about in later episodes.